We have implemented the strictest measures in all of North America. And the difficult truth is, every public health measure we have left comes with a massive cost to people and their lives. But we have never shied away from doing what's necessary.
We have made the deliberate decision to temporarily enhance police officers' authority for the duration of the stay-at-home order. Moving forward, police will have the authority to require any individual who is not in a place of residence to, first, provide their purpose for not being at home and provide their home address. Police will also have the authority to stop a vehicle to inquire about an individual's reason for leaving their residence.
And our inspectors will also be ensuring that those who absolutely must come to work are strictly following the public health measures. For our employers and employees, take note, this is your last warning.
I'm wondering about these new police powers to just randomly stop someone walking down the street or to pull over a car. What happens if a person refuses to answer the police questions?
So by issuing these new additional enforcement measures, it allows police officers to ask the person why they are not at their place of residence and what their place of residence is. And specifically to your question, if you are not willing to comply, then you are breaking the law.
Greetings, pilots and passengers. Police states are being introduced. Some countries are really pushing the restrictions regarding what's going on in the world very, very far. They're really pushing it, and they're making big moves in regards to the agenda that we're currently seeing unfolding before us. In the past couple of days, Canada has announced some of the strictest restrictions onto the people. Well, firstly, in Canada, there's a stay-at-home order in place, a lockdown, really strict lockdown. That the whole thing we've experienced in the UK of you can't leave your house unless it's essential travel, essential shops, that is literally it. In Canada, they've taken things a step further. They have taken things beyond just stay at home. Police have been given a lot more power, really, really crazy amounts of power in regards to how they can police people. For example, the police have the ability to stop people when they're out and about, to ask what they're doing, where they're going, and why they're outside of their home. And along with that, they can actually ask for the person's home address to find out where they live. These people will also face fines if the police think they're out for no reason whatsoever. They can face fines up to 750 Canadian dollars, which is $600, which I would say is maybe about £400-ish here, if you're caught outside your home. Same with if you're driving in your vehicle. Police have the ability to stop cars and tell cars to pull over to the side of the road, and again, ask them, why are you out? What are you doing? Where are you going? Is this essential travel? If people are believed to not be travelling for a valid reason, or they're believed to be on non-essential travel, then the police again can fine them, and it will be deemed that the person is in fact breaking the law. These are some of the heaviest measures, really, really heavy measures. Of course, in the UK we have similar fines put in place. Again, we've seen cases where police have been stopping people, asking them where they are, arresting people for leaving their home for non-essential travel, and bullying people, essentially. Bullying people into submission. Bullying people just for going about their daily lives, which is what everyone should be doing anyway. Now, the Canadian government say that they have brought this in as cases of the C-19 are believed to be going out of control. Believed to be, of course. And this is, of course, at a time when we have heard repeatedly in the news this huge push for people to take the jab, to get the jabberoo, and that will be the be-all, end-all, and it will solve all the problems. Everyone will be free. It's seen as the key to freedom. But it seems as though this isn't working out, despite all of the messages that people are being told that this is going to save everything, and once everyone gets it, everything can open up again. This isn't happening because we've seen in, for example, Canada, where they're under heavy lockdown. The same with in the UK, we've had similar threats and mentions of lockdowns even after the rollout has been taking place, which has gone against everything the UK government have said.
But it is very, very important for everybody to understand that the reduction in these numbers, in hospitalisations and in deaths and in infections, has not been achieved by the programme. People don't, I think, appreciate that it's the lockdown that has been overwhelmingly important in delivering this improvement in the pandemic and in the figures that we're seeing. And so, yes, of course, the programme has helped, but the bulk of the work in reducing the disease has been done by the lockdown.
But I digress. We're not talking about the UK government today, even though it is relevant. Along with these measures restricting people's movements and giving police incredible power, playgrounds are completely restricted, along with parks as well. Just restrictions on people's freedoms and liberties completely. When announcing this, the government were actually asked about what do people do socially? What is the best way to go about this whole these restrictions, this whole situation in regards to other people? How do you essentially report people? Is that a thing people should be doing? This is what the government had to say about that.
If someone sees their neighbors breaking these new regulations and having a party in their yard, that sort of thing, should people call police on their neighbors?
In terms of people calling to snitch, to inform, look, we all have a personal responsibility. If it means saving lives, then I think we have to think about what your social responsibilities are as an individual to make sure that you don't empower other people and invite a whole bunch of individuals to your home.
So the government are basically saying that if you need to police people yourselves and report your neighbours essentially in and snitch on them for doing something or breaking the law, then that is your service to the country, that is your service to other people, and you are doing a good deed by doing that, because as they say, you are saving a life. You are potentially saving someone's grandma from a really, really, really painful death, is the way that they word this. And as many people would say, well, why do people put up with this? Why don't people scream, shout and get this overturned and fight back? Well, the good news is that has actually happened. In Canada, lots and lots of people are not having any of this and are sticking up for themselves. The police themselves, police departments in Canada, in Ontario, have been standing up against these orders. This comes at a time when it was also announced that checkpoints will be on borders. Police are not having this. Police do not want anything to do with this. Police departments have insisted they're not going to use these new powers on people because they think that it's not fair, because they're stopping people for no actual reason. The government has actually had to step back on some of this. In Ontario, the government has actually had to walk back some of the policing powers because the police do not want to do it. So before we had people being policed, pedestrians being policed on the street for going out. That has been removed, that has been scrapped, because the police don't want to do that. They don't want to be seen as the bad guys. Even so, what does remain is being pulled over by police in a vehicle. That is still being implemented. And it specifically focuses on if you are suspected to be going to a public gathering or a social event. So people are not allowed to be meeting up, people are not allowed to be doing anything that is suspected to be breaking the law. So on Saturday, the Solicitor General Sylvia Jones said that officers will no longer have the right to stop any pedestrian or vehicle to ask why they are out or request their home address. They said that if a police officer or other provincial offences officer has a reason to suspect you are participating in an organised public event or social gathering, you may need to provide your information to ensure that you are complying with the restrictions. Every individual who is required to provide a police officer or other provincial offences officer with information shall promptly comply. It is still a police state of papers, please. Papers, please has been well introduced. This is the new normal, guys. This is what you can expect in the future. When you go out to the shops and someone asks where your papers are and you've left them at home, well, good luck, mate. That's when you get arrested. Even if you're only going out to get milk, no matter how much you protest, well, if the police thinks you walked funny or look like you're off to a social gathering, well, then it sucks to be you, because you're going to have to wait for that milk and you'll have to drink your tea without milk for the foreseeable future. When these initial restrictions and powers were introduced and announced, the Canadian Civil Liberties Association said that they are going to be fighting a legal challenge against the government because it's completely stripping away people's freedoms and liberties. And as soon as that occurred, the Ontario government sort of relaxed the powers a little bit, obviously not stopping pedestrians, and the Canadian Civil Liberties Association said that sometimes bark does have bite, and when you stand up and say this isn't right and you're not having any of it, and you threaten the government and you say, look, this is not fair, then it does make a difference. And it appears as though it's making a difference, along with the fact that so many people across the country are standing up and speaking out. Even though, yes, there are those who will stay at home and out of fear and they don't want to break the law, there are those who want their freedoms and they are protesting, they're going to the parks, they're going to the playgrounds. They are completely living their lives as normal, so that other people will wake up and realise that this police state business that's going on, if people accept it, it will just continue and continue to be enforced and will become completely normal everyday life, which we don't want. Even the London Police Services Board had said that they are really concerned about these new powers being brought in because they are unconstitutional, and that is the word that really sums this up now. Unconstitutional. People having their freedoms completely stripped away over this, over fear, complete fear. And these powers only reinforce that fear and remind people that if you step out of line, you will be seen as scum. You will be treated as scum. You do not deserve to be part of society. You will be singled out. And they're encouraging the neighbours to do the same thing. If you suspect your friend, family member, the old lady next door of doing something, going out to a gathering, having friends over, any of the sorts, rat on them, snitch on them, tell the police, because you are doing an absolute service to the country. This is the world that we are living in now, and it is terrifying, but it is good to see, and it is welcoming to see that people are not standing for it, and the police themselves are not going to carry out these orders. They're not going to follow the government law, the guidelines to strip people of their freedoms and rights. They're not going to do it. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of the police standing up like this across the globe, in the UK, in our own country. It's a lot to ask, but we hope so. I think many of us hope so, that people will start waking up to this and getting wise to what's actually going on. That's all I had to talk about today, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do let me know what you think down below in the comments. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Love you all. Stay true, stay awake, and stay blessed. Remember, if you want to support the channel, please do subscribe to Dare to Fly Today and get ready to take flight. Like this video, turn on notifications and share with others. And if you want to support the channel even further, links to donate to my Ko-fi page and my PayPal are down below in the description box. Stay safe, guys, and keep each other close. Give each other lots and lots of hugs. Have a wonderful day, as always. So yeah, fly high, fear less.